Hey Saints, hey Saints, it's D Love. So I just wanted to have y'all check this out, right? So, how many of us have heard when we hear Jesus talk about faith as a size of a mustard seed, right? How many of us have heard that it's talking about having a little bit of faith? Like if you just have a little bit of faith, then God can do, such and such. I've heard that plenty of times from the pulpit. And I was reading today, and the Lord showed me different. It's not about having a little bit of faith, because really, when you think about Jesus, when you think about it, Jesus said, "O ye of little faith." So now I'm thinking like He's not talking about having a little bit of faith. So I'm reading, right? So this morning I was reading. I'm in Luke 17, right? I'm reading and I'm come up on verse 6, right? And it says, if ye had faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye might say unto the sycamore tree, be thou plucked up by the roots, and be thou planted in the sea. And so, and then it says, and it should obey you. So I'm thinking like, Father, are you actually saying have the the faith the size of a mustard seed? And so, it has the concordance or what have you like that, right? The concordance, takes me to Matthew 17, verse 20. And it says, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence, get your behind out of here, and it shall move, and nothing shall be impossible to you. So then I'm thinking, and I pray, of course, praying before I read and everything, asking the Lord to help me to, understand what He was intending, what was the intent of His word, what Jesus was trying to convey when He was speaking and everything. And so I'm thinking like, I don't think you were talking about the size of a mustard seed. So as I'm, kind of talking it out and everything, He's like, yeah. He's like, continue. You on to something, right? So then I'm thinking like, okay, well, what was Jesus referencing? Then I'm like, wait a minute. He's referencing something that was planted in the ground, a mountain and a sycamore tree. Now, nobody has to look up anything about a mountain. A mountain is huge. So then you're thinking, okay, the size of a mustard seed compared to a mountain. Then if you look up a sycamore tree, and that's exactly what he says. He says, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye might say unto the sycamore tree, be plucked up by the root. If you look up about a sycamore tree, first of all, it's huge, but it says like the roots go down like about 100 feet or something like that. But Jesus is saying you can say to the sycamore tree, be be plucked up by the root. And so to me, Jesus was saying the literal size of a mustard seed. The size of a mustard seed, speaking to a sycamore tree. The size of a mustard seed, speaking to a mountain. But what the Lord was showing me, He was saying it was the faith of a mustard seed. So that's what I was thinking. I'm like, was He saying the size, meaning if you have a little bit of faith, the size? No, He was saying like the mustard seed itself, like the mustard seed has faith. It has its own faith. That mustard seed has faith enough to say to that mountain. It's like a David and Goliath type scenario where you have this little bitty thing speaking to a mountain and saying, get out of here. You got a little bitty mustard seed, the size of a mustard seed, saying to the sycamore tree, bounce, be plucked up by the root, your root that's deep, deep down. And as I was even talking it out with the Lord, and He's showing me, and He's affirming me. He's like, "Yeah, girl, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about." And so, saying the roots deep down, then He's showing me that can refer to tradition, whether it's tradition in your family, tradition in society, whatever it is, that these roots that are deep, deep, deep down, you can speak to that thing and say, it's over, it's a wrap. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So we have been taught, many of us in the church, I'm not going to say all of us as Christians, but many of us in the church have been taught that it's the size of a mustard seed, meaning your faith has to be the size of a mustard seed, meaning a little bit. But it's not meaning the size of your faith. It's meaning the size, like, I'm trying to convey it properly and be, what's the word? Like, I'm trying to be, oh my goodness, I can't think of the word. But if you can, the size of a mustard seed is speaking to a mountain. So it's really saying the faith, like that mustard seed has faith. That is what the Lord gave me, like the mustard seed. So you have to have the faith as a grain of mustard seed. And in Matthew, that's what it says in Luke. And in Matthew, it says to have faith as a grain. So it's, to me, it's saying the mustard seed has faith. Have the faith as a mustard seed, because that mustard seed is able to say to a mountain, get out of here. That mustard seed is able to say to a sycamore tree, get your roots, pluck up your roots and get out of here. Y'all, it's not the size of, it's really saying your faith needs to be as big as a mustard seed, not as small as a mustard seed. So I hope I conveyed that properly. That's what the Lord gave me, and I wanted to share that. It's not the little faith that you need to have. It's actually having big faith. It's like David and Goliath. David is that mustard seed. The mustard seed is David. Goliath is the mountain. Goliath is the sycamore tree. So I hope y'all understood that, and be blessed. I'll talk to y'all later.